hi everyone. I just got back from seeing Lisa Frankenstein. I'm about to... Wait a minute, one sec. I'm getting a call. Yeah? Okay, yes, I will tell them. All right, thank you. All right. Yeah, the 2016 just called. They want their 80s nostalgia movie back. Hi, my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Lisa Frankenstein, directed by Zelda Williams and written by Diablo Cody, and starring Kathryn Newton, Cole Sprouse, Liza Soberano, Henry Eikenberry, Chrest, and Carla Gugino. So the story focuses on Lisa, played by Kathryn Newton. She's a high school senior still reeling from the untimely death of her mother sometime before the events of the movie starts. Not that anyone seems to care, really. Her stepsister Taffy, played by Liza Soberano, drags her to parties she does not want to go to. Her father Dale, played by Chrest, is just completely checked out and unobservant. And her stepmom, Janet, played by Carla Gugino, wants to put her in a psych ward. So, happy family support system all around. Anyway, this all leaves Lisa pining for romance and someone to fill the lonely void in her life. So she spends her time pining for romance with the school newspaper editor Michael Trent, played by Henry Eikenberry. But life throws Lisa a curveball when lightning strikes Bachelor Cemetery and reanimates a Victorian corpse. Yeah, it's that kind of movie. Anyway, so this said Victorian corpse ends up forming, a relationship of sorts with Lisa, and what follows is a romantic kind of trip that involves a lot of bloodshed and a lot of forced 80s references. So the writing is uneven and only achieves creative highs sporadically at best. The story incorporates 80s nostalgia like pretty much everywhere, and it's only successful about, I'd say, half the time, and I'm being generous with that descriptor. Sometimes the 80s references are clever and even inspired and pair well with the creative visuals. Other times they're just cringy and forced. Like, sometimes a character will practically say, hey, this movie takes place during the 80s. And I'm just like, movie, you miss your window about nearly a decade ago almost. Just cool your jets with the 80s references, all right? Anyway, but however, I'd argue the biggest problem with this movie is the tone, or rather the tonally jarring plot. So, yeah, this film wears its love for dark 80s comedies on its sleeve, but it's unable to replicate a tonal cohesion. I think the best example of this involves Lisa's backstory, as it is very tragic, yet it's presented in a hyper melodramatic, stylized manner that is clearly trying to elicit laughs, and it just felt off. I don't know how else to describe it. It just didn't work, and I feel like even for a more experienced director, this would have been tough. And so I feel like Zelda Williams was working with some very hard material to get balance right, and she just, didn't land it for me. The film also follows formula and forgets to shade in detail for some of the characters, like Michael Trent, leaving him a rather blank slate of a personality at times. And this makes the will they, won't they portion of the movie involving Lisa, the creature, that's Cole Sprouse as he's known in the Wikipedia article, and Michael, that leaves the trio in an uninteresting love triangle. And the attempts at humor, dark or otherwise, don't work nearly as well as they should. Although I should know, again, when the jokes don't land, they aren't painful, And the film does on occasion land a comedic bullseye. There's one particular gag involving the description of a character that had me laughing hard and was totally worth the punchline. So again, this film isn't without laughter. It's just, again, as I've said in many other reviews, it doesn't have enough laughs. And the writing does lend itself the occasionally heartfelt and insightful moment, but there aren't enough of these moments throughout the runtime. The performances are kind of mixed in quality. I mean, the actors work well together, but they aren't able to bring like a great deal of depth and effort to the characters. Kathryn Newton gives an okay performance as Lisa. It didn't blow me away, but again, she clearly, was giving a lot of effort into the role. Sprouse, I liked him. He did a very good job with his character because the creature, as he's simply known, can't talk, and so this requires Sprouse to flex his physicality, and he's more than up to the task, plus along with some pretty good makeup effects for the character. Liza Soberano, she also gives a nice performance as Taffy, a caring, kind of airheaded-ish stepsister. So she's not the most intelligent, but she's not entirely unaware. And unfortunately, that's kind of where the good performances stop. All the other characters are two-dimensional at best. Chrest feels straitjacketed by his role as Lisa's stepfather, a stereotypically unobservant yet caring father. Carla Gugino is wasted on a one-note role as Lisa's stepmom, who, basically she's a stepmom from hell, and there's not too much to her beyond that. And then there's Henry Eikenberry as Michael Trent, or as I like to call him, Blandy McBland, because the character just has barely any personality to him. I will say, the one thing the film does nail unambiguously is the visuals. Like, the film is visually stunning and very inspired in its detail. The film features a few black and white sequences that do a wonderful job of communicating characterization and backstory. And the film does occasionally dabble in a trippy visual here and there. Even the normal set design worked pretty well for me, as it helps establish good contrast between the supernatural elements, and it helps establish characterization for each character very well. So, though it's not without an inspired visual flair, Lisa Frankenstein is unable to sew its tonally incongruent parts into a cohesive whole. So with all that in mind, I will be giving Lisa Frankenstein 2.5 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite Kathryn Newton performance and why?